There's no telling why a man won't commit to you. It could be a number of reasons or just one sometimes, and giving one blanket reason to explain why he doesn't just seems unfair. This is simply because different men don't commit for different reasons, naturally. Now, the unwillingness to commit can occur on both sides, in both men and women in relationships. However, today my focus is beyond whether that person you have your eyes on is into you. Today I'll speak on how to know if he wants to commit to you. I'm Izabel Liwo, and you're watching Alive and Living 360. I've seen people in relationships that will stick it out with their significant other for months, years, or even longer because they're afraid of accepting rejection, starting over, or ending up alone. Some of these people even go as far as to say they're okay with just the companionship if it means they'll still have that relationship. In other words, I'll take pieces of you over none of you, even if it means I'm dissatisfied, or I'll wait until you're ready to commit to me because my timeline is your timeline and only your timeline matters. Although the maximum level of commitment is marriage, there are certainly different stages of commitment that occur before you say I do. So what I'm about to discuss with you all will apply. I want to start by saying if he won't commit to you, then move on. There are some people that are just not the committing kind and are aware of this, and that's great because it's honest. Some are the committing type, but they need to date themselves for a while. Or perhaps they're not ready for a commitment because they're healing or focusing on their personal or financial growth. You see, there's nothing wrong with that. I respect that. It's only messed up when they're undergoing inner construction but still go as far as to pretend they're ready to commit, as in they're ready to share themselves or actively do what most commitments require. For instance, they'll pursue a good potential catch knowing she's seeking a commitment and disturb her peace just for their personal gain, whatever that may be. When it comes to dating, you can't force anyone to love you the way you want to be loved and at your pace, nor are you obligated to stick around until they come around. We naturally adjust here and there when it feels right or flows naturally. If he's not trying to keep you, why are you trying to act kept? And is it enough to be kept when you're not being kept right or treated the way you deserve? Be gone. You too are of high value, and if the person you're dedicating yourself to fails to acknowledge what they have and act on it, they're just not that into you. They're probably not meant for you, and more importantly, you're teaching them how to treat you when you stick around for this tango to nowhere, when you've made it clear you have goals when it comes to what you want for your life romantically. When we have to wait in line for an unreasonable duration of time or wait on an appointment to begin that is running behind schedule even when you were punctual, mind you, we get frustrated because we took the time to get to where we are and we intended to achieve a goal in a timely manner. Sometimes we even speak up saying, hey, what's the holdup? And if we're fed up of waiting past our limit, we just get up and leave. So why is it so hard to speak our terms or leave when someone is taking our hearts, time, and worth for a ride? A huge part of that answer is knowing your value. Do you feel worthy of the best? Why do we hesitate to get frustrated enough when someone comes along and takes our love for a ride, cruising on your life like it's not equally as valuable as theirs? When someone isn't ready to commit, they can exhibit some obvious or not so obvious signs. I'll share some. But before that, comment below if you'd like to add or share when you knew your significant other wasn't ready to commit. Let's get into it. 1. They begin to stall when it comes to giving you straightforward answers about where the relationship is going and when they want to take specific steps like marriage with you. 2. They'll become emotionally distant but give you enough lip service so you'll stick around and not be brave enough to speak up and state what you need. Or worst case scenario, brave enough to leave. 3. They may even downplay your relationship and make it seem like you're rushing feelings or being too intense. You're stressing them out. Can't you just enjoy us? Or they act like you're too much personality for them and they're building themselves up to be the best version of themselves for you. So just be a little patient, you know? Don't stress them out too much, you know? Actually, I remember a guy telling me once that he was concerned that if we got closer, I might end up smothering him, and that's a nice word, by the way, and being too much for him because I'm so driven and know what I want, but he's still figuring things out. Yet he was showing me through actions that he still wanted me at the same time. Right. Dancing with words and actions to just say you're not that into someone or ready for a commitment. Practically. That's what he was doing. It was confusing because I was really into him at the time and he was complimenting me but insulting me at the same time, telling me he wants me but doesn't want me. Yes, the roller coaster type. Those ones will persistently keep you on that ride, going up and down, not caring how sick they're making you feel. If you let them, the games don't stop until you say enough because you're finally too sick to stick around. Another sign is when he intentionally keeps your life separate or doesn't take obvious moves to progress the relationship when the opportunities are so clear. He straight up says he is not the marrying kind. Have you met that one? So you stick around thinking you're okay with it because love is enough, or worse, you think you can change him. Then there's the other type, which acts like your relationship is not serious publicly or around his friends. If he hasn't introduced you to his siblings or friends and it's been 6 months, or his parents and it's been 6 months, a year, or even a couple, it's not a good sign. Now there's some unique ones who will introduce you to family, parents, and whoever they know ASAP. Be careful with those ones, okay? Because that's not a good sign. It's just what they do. So observe their relatives in that situation. They'll show you who you're dealing with. When a man knows what he wants, he knows. They like to be the chasers and the ones shaking things up or moving things along. Distance is rarely an issue too, as he'll be resourceful in making his way back to you somehow or just being with you, period. Based on my observations, no pace is too speedy as well when he's sure he wants you, nor does he really care about what too many people think about your relationship. When a man is determined, it can be as quick as 6 to 7 months for him to commit, and make sure that it's witnessed that he's committing. If he's in a place where he's crazy about you and feels solid in his career, enough to financially support a partner, a man who wants you won't hesitate to reassure you that they choose you. He'll support you, uplift you, share personal memories with you, and do romantic gestures like shower you with gifts, planned dates, or even provide you with things you need, etc. If he's not necessarily the affectionate type, but wants to show his love through actions, you'll know. He won't use you, insult your intelligence, or waste your precious time. Protect your bodies, protect your hearts, protect your minds, and protect your value, ladies. Once you start doubting things, just ask where things are going. Be direct. If there's something you need for your present or future, express it as your truth and not as an ultimatum. Ultimatums rarely go the way you want them to. I know from experience. You may set personal deadlines privately for yourself so that you remind yourself to stand up for yourself when you're ready, but you can't do that to someone else in the form of an ultimatum. You don't want to have to. If you have to, it's not a safe place to be. In a future video, I'll share tips on how to move on if you've learned that your partner does not want to commit after you've given him very intimate parts of you, and you've dedicated so much time to loving him just for it to go nowhere. If you like this discussion, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. While you're on my channel, check out my other content as well. Like and share. I'd appreciate it. Anyway, when you reach this point of saturation in your relationship where you feel you deserve more from your partner, or at least some growth, really be true to yourself and evaluate what your limits are and do what makes you happy. I've seen situations where females have rushed their partner because of pressure from their families to commit or marry, but they didn't really want it for themselves, and it drove their relationships to ruin when it could have flourished into something beautiful when they both would possibly be ready down the road. I've been there too. Everyone is different. Communicate and have healthy conversations with your partner, then ultimately do what's best for you. Life isn't about coasting or settling, nor is it about rushing to do what you don't want to because of societal pressures. Do what makes you happy. Trust your gut, it's usually onto something. Let your voice be heard and don't let anyone take you for a ride. Always be true to yourself and stand up for yourself no matter what or where you stand on the commitment spectrum. Thank you for watching. See you soon.